What is up, everybody? This is Famous, and welcome to another episode of Pokemon Go. In today's episode, we were able to go out opening night to catch ourselves a Zapdos, and man, we have a lot to talk about with Zapdos. So I've got good news, bad news, everything in between. We were able to catch a Zapdos, which is definitely the good news. Bad news is that it took us 3 tries to do it. And that's not because of our fault, which I'm totally happy to say this. I hit a ton of Great Balls, a ton of Nices, so I am excited. I hit it a lot, so I can't really get any better than that. But as far as battling goes, we'll go ahead and talk about that a little bit. The top 6 Pokemon that you want to use when you are battling Zapdos is going to be Golem, Tyranitar, Dragonite, Rhydon, and then the bottom 2 are kind of funny, but we'll go ahead and mention them, and that's going to be Jynx and Piloswine. So just use whatever you can. I have a lot of Rhydon personally, so I did make sure to use that as well. So as far as the battling goes, it felt a lot like Moltres. It was a little bit tougher. When we were doing it with 7 people, we actually got pretty close on the timer. But I think the real reason for that was because we had a lot of people trying to get that last bonus where you keep in all 6 of your Pokemon throughout the entire battle. We were all trying to do that, so the last, minute or so went really slow. I've got this sped up ×4 though, so we can get to the actual catch screen. Because obviously the catch screen is the hardest part for a lot of people. And what I want to talk to you about is how Zapdos is actually different than the other legendary birds that we have seen. So it's very important to go in with some knowledge and to know how Zapdos is going to behave as compared to the other legendary birds that we have seen so far. So like I said, we were able to knock it out pretty good. Unfortunately, got right to the end, wasn't able to get my original 6 in there, but that's okay. I mean, you might get a ball from it, but... So there we go, took down Zapdos, and then, like I said, we were lucky enough to get 15 rare candies, and then also 9 gold raspberries. We didn't get any charge moves or anything like that, but we can go ahead and get into the catching mechanics, and then we'll talk about the movement a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and let it do it, and then we'll talk about it. So as you can see, this is absolutely crazy, and this is something that a lot of people probably aren't going to point out to you. So this is the neutral position. Zapdos is the first legendary bird that we have seen so far who has the ability in this neutral position to move straight right, straight left, diagonal right, straight up, and then diagonal left. So it can move into 5 different positions, and then it does this thing where it likes to play like a merry-go-round in some ways to where it does that. I'll go ahead and play it back so you guys can see this, but basically it's doing this little pinwheel thing. And that makes it very tough to catch if you were just trying to catch it like that, trying to follow it around and everything like that. So what I would recommend you to do is to wait until it gets into the neutral zone. And this is very important. Beforehand, if it's in the neutral zone, you have a good shot at it. But in this case, when it's in the neutral zone, if you just throw the ball, it has a good chance of just moving off in a different direction. So it'll totally dodge your ball. So you have to make sure that you are throwing it during the middle of a taunt to guarantee that it is not going to dart off in a different direction. Just like that. By the way, I was making sure that I was going to hit a nice, if anything, because ironically, it was raining outside for the Zapdos raids that we were doing. I did 3. It was raining at all of them. So my phone screen was a little wet. So I wanted to make sure that 100% I am going to hit these Nices so that I have the best chance possible. And as always, I wait until it gets into the neutral position before I throw it. So the taunt is going to come whenever it does. There it is. And then we're going to throw it. So this is so ironic. This is great. So out of about 30 throws that I did in the 3 Zapdos raids, I had about 5 to 6, I believe, that I did not hit anything on. I didn't hit a nice, great, excellent on. And of course, the one that I don't hit anything on is the one that I used to catch Zapdos, but I can't complain, right? We've got ourselves a Zapdos. We got an 1862. The highest CP that you can get at this point in time is a 1902, so it can get into the 1900s as far as the CP goes. And then it does have 3 different movesets, or I guess 2 different movesets that you can use, 2 charge moves. Anyways, I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope that this is going to help you be able to catch more Zapdos. Above everything else, I would say, take your time. You've got time. You've got an hour. Don't obviously spend that whole thing. I think people would get mad. But if you take your time, you'll be able to catch more Zapdos.